Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hi. Hi. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Hello. If you're out there, please say hello to me. Say hi. Tell me where you're from. It's so good to see everybody here. This is wonderful. I'm very excited for our lesson today. Can you see me? Can you hear me? If you're out there, say hello. Let me know where you're from. All right, my name is tutor or teacher Greg. I've been doing these live lessons for a couple of years now, so I'm excited to continue doing a few more. Hello, let's see. Who do we have out there? Where are you from? Oh, hello from Brazil. Hello. Hello, Jakarta. Wonderful. All right, looks like we have people from all over the place. That's wonderful to see. Hello from Qatar. Hi. Or Qatar. Hello from Greece. All right, excellent. Hello, everybody. Oh, hello, Cuba. Hello, Bangladesh. Wonderful. Oh, Turkey. Great. China. Hello. All right, people from all over the place. That's wonderful. We're going to wait just a few minutes to go ahead and get started today. We're going to make sure we got everyone ready to watch the lesson today. Remember, if you miss any of this lesson today, or if you want to go back and watch this lesson or any of the other hundreds of lessons that we have done, just go ahead to the Cambly YouTube channel and you can go ahead and watch this lesson or any of the other ones we've done with Cambly. All right. Hello, Sri Lanka. Wonderful. Oh, no. Karachi. Hello, Karachi. Wonderful. Hello, Bangladesh again. That's great. It's so good to see everyone here today. I hope you are all doing well. I live in the United States, and here it is springtime. So it is, the flowers are starting to bloom, and the smells in the air are very fresh and clean. So that's exciting. I love springtime. Let's see. All right, hello, Sri Lanka, wonderful. It's good to see everybody. Do you have a favorite season? Do you like summer or winter or fall or spring? Do you have a favorite season? Anyone have a favorite season out there? I think mine is probably springtime because it feels so new. Winter, wonderful. Winter, 2 winters, that's great. 2 people love winter, that's wonderful. All right, yeah, winter is very nice. Oh, it's cold where I live. Winter, all right. Summer, okay. Oh, winter because of snowboarding. That sounds fun. Snowboarding sounds very fun. Spring, all right. Summertime. Get a little bit of both here. Good. Summer. Wonderful. Well, I'm glad that we can all talk about our favorite seasons. So, autumn, wonderful. Autumn is also very nice. Oh, excellent. No winter season. I see. All right. Well, it is so great to have you all here today. I'm very excited about our topic today. We're going to talk about prepositions of place. Okay, my name is tutor or teacher Greg. I am from the United States, and I am here in Ohio today, and it is morning. So good morning or afternoon or evening to all of you. So prepositions of place. You have probably heard all of these prepositions before, but today we're going to make sure that we're using them correctly and understanding why we are using them. So we have 2 different types of prepositions of place that I'm going to talk about. So one is these common prepositions of place that we use, and the other are our big 3 prepositions that are used very often, but sometimes incorrectly because they seemingly are interchangeable. But we'll talk about some of the rules about them. So let's first talk about prepositions. So these prepositions, right, prepositions of place, there are 2 different kinds, right? There are prepositions of place and prepositions of time. But today we're just going to talk about prepositions of place, okay? So a preposition of place tells us about the relationship of two objects or people to one another. Generally, they will be based off of two different nouns. Okay? So I see a question in the chat that we'll answer real quick. So the difference between a conjunction and a preposition. So it's a good question. A conjunction will combine two sentences like and or but. So you're going to take two independent clauses and you're going to combine them with a conjunction. But a preposition is going to tell us the relationship of two objects, like me and this ball, okay, right? It's going to say, I am next to the ball. So next to is the preposition or the prepositional phrase that describes our relationship, okay? So it allows us, prepositions allow us to know where something is, specifically our prepositions of place. It tells us where something is in relation to something else. Oh, I'm glad you like the ball. Excellent. All right, well, we're going to be using that today. So today, because we're talking about prepositions of place, we're going to be doing it in a visual manner because it's hard to describe something in its position without looking at it. So, looking at our prepositions of place, there are about 10 major prepositions of place. There are other synonyms that talk about prepositions of place, but we'll just go over the 10 major ones. So, to do a visual representation, let's look at our first one, in. Okay? So, if I have a box and I have a ball, I can say the ball now is in the box. The ball is in the box, right? Because this is the preposition of place of where it's at. It's in the box. Okay? So our next preposition, on. Well, if I have my lid of the box, I can say the ball is on the box. Now this one is important to know that on is touching. Okay, if the ball is on the box, that means it's touching the box. Because our next preposition of place, over, does not touch. Okay? On is touching, over or above, it's not touching, but it is over it, right? Or above it. So that's why we have to have our visuals here, because it's difficult to understand that it's over. Yes, so this is over the box or above the box. This is on the box. Okay? A slight distinction, but important when you're discussing something for preposition of place. Saying it's like the helicopter, right? A helicopter or a plane is over you. But now the ball is on me. So that's the difference, whether it's touching or not. Okay? The next one, similarly, under. Under. That's also touching. Right? So it's under the box. But below is not touching. So above, below, on, under. So it's important to know that on and under are touching, below and above. Okay, so very good. So the next one we have is in front of. So this one doesn't have to be touching, but we just know that it is in front of the box, right? So if our box is here, we are in front of. Okay? And the opposite of in front of is the next one, behind. Okay? So we have behind, we have in front of, and behind. So you won't be able to see it because it is behind the box. Good. These are prepositions of place. The next one is beside. Okay? Or next to. We use two different phrases there. We can use beside or next to. to talk about this preposition of place, right? It can be touching, but or it can be not. But the difference is if we have our other one, which is near, near could be anywhere around us, okay? So near and around can be anywhere, but not touching. If it's touching, it's next to, right? Or beside, okay? And then one more, we have, if there's two pieces, right? If we have a lid there, we can have it be in between or between, right? Between here. That is, we have the ball between two different objects. So let's run through all of those prepositions of place again, real quick, okay? So we have our first one, in. So over and above, yes, over and above can be the same thing. Similar, they're synonyms. Over and above can both be higher up. Okay, that's a good question. So over and above, they're very, very similar. For intensive purposes, it's the same thing. The ball is over the box. The ball is above the box. The only slight difference is above might be in closer terms, right? So something might be above or over. It might be a little bit closer if you say that it is above me, right? So that just depends on the context, but good question. So we have in, we have on, we have above and over, we have under, we have below, we have in front of, besides or next to, behind, and in between. In between. All right. So let's try this again. But I want you to tell me, based on these pictures, where it is. Okay. So let's look at this one. What is this? Where is the ball in relation to the box? Where is the ball in relation to the box? All right, let's see. Where is that? Where is the ball in relation to the box? Good. I'm seeing a lot of bugs or overs. That's very good. That's correct. Over or above. Yes, that's exactly right. The ball is over or above the box. Very good. Okay, let's try that again. How about this one? Where is the ball in relation to the box here? What is the preposition of place that we will use to describe this object in relation to the other object? Remember, that's what these prepositions of place are doing. It's very important when we're talking narrative, right? What is the reader seeing? Good. It's beside. Beside or next to. Very good. Beside or next to. Very good. And that S, right? That S, that besides or beside, right? That is going to be colloquial depending on where you are. Some people will say besides. Some people say beside. Beside is the correct term, but I wrote besides because that's what I generally say, even though that's not grammatically correct, right? It's beside, but people will often add an extra S. It's besides, like this is besides that. So beside is the correct way. So good question. Okay, next, what do we have? There's two boxes here. Two boxes. Two boxes. Where is that? Good. I'm seeing some answers there. Excellent. The ball is between the boxes. The ball is between the boxes. Very good. Between. Excellent. Between the boxes. Good. Or you can sometimes say in the middle, right? Between is our preposition of place, though, normally. Okay. How about this one? Where is the ball in relation to the box? What is our preposition of place to describe the connection between these two? Under. Very good. Very good. Under. Because it is touching, right? It's under that. Okay? And we think about, if we talk about underground, right? We know it's directly beneath something, right? It's under. Very good. Directly beneath. Very good. Okay. So, what is this one for us then? Where is our ball here? Where is our ball here? It is, let's see, good. So I'm seeing a couple of different ones. Okay. So in this one, right, this is going to be on. Very good. This is on because it's touching the box, right? It's touching the box, so it has to be on. And I'm seeing a couple of ups. So up is a directional point, right? So it's a preposition of direction, not place. So if I say the ball is up, that would not indicate exactly where the ball is. The ball is on the box. So we would say the ball is on the box, but if someone says what direction is the ball, we could say it's up. But it's a different type of preposition. So good question, but that's a little bit different. We'd want to say on, not up, because that wouldn't tell us the preposition of place. So I'm seeing another question in the chat. So what does it mean underneath or beneath? So underneath or beneath means something that is also going to be under. It's a synonym to under, but it's going to be below whatever the object is. But typically it's going to be covered. So if I say something is beneath something, that means it's going to be covered by something. So I could say it's beneath the house, which means it is in the ground under the house. Or if I say it's underneath, right? When I wear a blanket, if I have a blanket, I am underneath the blanket. So that means you are enveloped and under something. However, under or below doesn't have to be necessarily covered, okay? The ground is under me, but I wouldn't say the ground is underneath me. Very good. Okay, so that is on, because it's touching. On is touching. Remember, above is not touching. All right, let's try two more. Where is this? Where is the ball here? Where is the ball here? It is in. Yes, very good. The ball is in the box. The ball is in the box. Very good. All right, we know that it is inside. All right, let's try our last one. Where is the ball in relation to this one? Where is the ball in relation to the box? Where is the ball? It's not touching. It's not touching. So it is good. It is below. It is below. You could also say here, you could say it's underneath the box. That is a proper synonym. That's a proper synonym. Very good. Very good. All right. So those are our classic and our common prepositions of place when talking about a direction of one object to another object. Okay. Now let's turn to three big prepositions of place. Three big prepositions of place that we will use all of the time to describe different situations, okay? So we have in, on, and at. And this is typically when we're talking about people and where they are. If I'm talking about myself, or if I'm talking about someone else, this in, on, and at, we can talk about where they are, what their preposition of place is. So the best way to think about these prepositions of place is in terms of larger to smaller. Okay, larger to smaller. In, we're going to use in for our preposition of place when we're talking about general terms, right? In places that are bigger, okay? So general terms, we got to think of countries or cities, right? I am in the United States. All right, my preposition of place for where I am in the United States, right? Because we talk about a larger area. Someone would be in Paris, right? The city of Paris, someone is in Paris. Because we talk about countries and cities are large, okay? We also use water, right? I am in the ocean. I am in a river. I am in a bath. So when we talk about water, we'll use in as our preposition of place. Okay? Additionally, when we talk about a car or a van, I am in the car. I'm sitting in the car, I'm driving in the car. That's just an English thing that we do, even though it might not be bigger or general, we use in when we talk about cars and vans. And then the last one we use in for is going to be enclosed spaces. Okay? Enclosed spaces that are going to be non-specific, right? I am in the house. I am in a building, right? If I have a pen, I can say my pen is in my pocket because it's enclosed. I am in the garden. Good. Oh, and truck, yes, truck you would also use in. I'm in the truck. Okay, so these are going to be, if you think about them, general areas, right? I am in Sri Lanka, right? I am in Budapest, right? That is where you're in. It's a big country or a city, right? So for New York, I would say I am in New York. So next, for our prepositions of place, we're going to go to a little bit more specific and a little bit smaller. So public transport. So for in, right, car, van, truck, we talk about in. Public transport, bus, train, airplane, those are all going to be on. I am on the bus. I am on a train. I am on the airplane, right? Any of that public transport, you're going to use on, okay? Because you're specific. You're talking about exactly where you are. You're on the bus, okay? Streets. So on versus in, I see a good question there. I am in bed versus I am on the bed. That's going to go back to our preposition of place with in or on, okay? That's going to be different because that's going to talk about you in relation to where you are in that bed or on that bed, right? Exactly. Versus these prepositions of place are going to be talking about our relation to where we are, but that is in terms of like where we are unrelated to actually being in something, right? Because for public transport with a bus, you are both inside the bus and inside the car, but we use a different preposition of place to describe our relation to that specific bus or car. I'm on the bus, I am in the car. But that's going to be different than if you're in bed or on your bed. That's going to depend on whether you are in and under the covers, or say you're sitting on the bed. Okay, so good question. But there's a distinction there because that's going to be very specific of where you are on the ship. Yes, because it's a public transport. Very good. Okay. Also, we will have streets and avenues, such as Central Parkway, right, or Central Avenue. You are on Central Avenue. So if I have, or let's Cedar Street, okay? If you have Cedar Street, you are on Cedar Street, right? Because it's a little bit more specific. The next one is going to be a surface or a floor, right? I'm on the ship. Yep, that's correct. I'm on the ship. Because you wouldn't say I'm in the ship. You're on the ship because it's a public transport type of activity, right? Multiple people are all going to be there. Surfaces or floor, right? I am on the table, or I am on the, I'm sitting on the chair, right? So any surface or floor, we're going to talk about on. My hand is on the poster. And then lastly, media. When I talk about media, I'm talking about TV or movies. So if I were to say my favorite actor is on TV, or I am on the radio. I'm listening to my favorite person on the radio. Yes, we are on air. Very good. Very good. I'm on air. I'm on the radio. Now, there is a distinction though, because if someone is an actor for a specific show, if we say he is, if anyone knows the TV show The Office, right? We would say that he is in the office, right? Because that's specifically talking about what TV show he is in. You can think about that as an enclosed space, right? Enclosed space, right? I am in the office. I am in my room, okay? Because it's an enclosed space. I am in my room. I am in the office. He is in the TV show, but he is on TV because that's the media in general, okay? So let's look at the last one, at. That's the most specific and the smallest when we think about our prepositions of place. Yes, on the stage, very good. So this is going to be, if there's a specific point, right? The door. When I come in and I knock, someone is at the door. Specifically, we know exactly what door it is. So, I see in the chat, I am at the house, right? If you're at the house, that means you've just arrived, right? Someone is not in the house yet, right? Someone's not in the house yet. They are, if you're at the house, that means you're probably at the front door, right? You just arrived to a place, right? Specifically there. Versus I am at the stage, you've also just arrived somewhere. You're probably not performing. Because you would say, I am on the stage, or I am in the house, right? Now, if you're on the house, you're on top. You're on top of the house, right? Very good. So, door, right? I am at the top of the hill. Because we know specifically what area we're talking about. Okay? What area we're talking about is the top or bottom, right? I am at the bottom of the stairs. So we have our stairs, I am at the bottom of the stairs. Or if we want to talk about the end of something, I am at the finish line. I am at the last page, right? So that is going to talk about specific points. Remember, specificity, as specific as we can, is going to give us our at. The other one is a known place. So when you're talking with someone or you're writing and you know exactly where the place is, then you're going to use an at. So specifically home, right? If I'm talking about my house, I can say I am at home. If we're talking about work, right? I am at work. Everyone knows where my work is that I'm talking to. I'm at work. Or a restaurant, I am at the restaurant. Good. Or I am at school. If you say I am in school, you can say that, but that it means you are generally a student, right? So I am at school means you are physically, right? You are there at school. But if you tell people I am in school, that means that you are a student, right? It doesn't say where you are in terms of your physical location. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? That's an important distinction. If we're going to use in, such as school, that means generally you are a student. I am at school means you are physically there. Good. Okay, I am at the pool. Very good. Okay, and the last one's going to be an address. An address is a specific address. I am at 1234 Pike Place. That is a specific saying. I am at this specific address. So if you have your home address, you can say, I am at that address. Good. Yes, I see a good example in there. When we're using the if it is a specific, it's a known place, and you're talking about one specific place. I am in the school, right? It's a very specific place. So basement, right? Basement, although it's a known place, right? It's an enclosed place. So I am in the basement. I am in the basement. It's enclosed, right? Because this known place, right? If we say I am at home, we don't know where you are at home. If you say I am at home in my room. So, for example, let's use our visual again, right? I have a ball, right? My ball is at home. It is in the office at my house on a box. That's all three, right? We have generally an enclosed space in the office. We have specifically where it's at. It's at my house. And we know it's on a surface. My ball is at home, in the office, on the box. Very good. Very good. So we can also think of that, right, in terms of a book. Okay? A book. I'm looking at a page in a book on page 4 at the 3rd paragraph. Generally, it's in a book. Specifically, it's on page 4. Most specifically, it's at the 3rd paragraph. Okay? So think about that in terms of general, less general, most specific. Very good. Okay, so that's going to be all of our very specific types of in, on, at. And this is going to take a lot of studying because, as someone said before, this is something that is intuitive to native English speakers. But that's because when you're growing up, learning all of these prepositions of place, you don't have to learn the rules like people who are learning English as a second or third or fourth or fifth language, right? So just be patient, right? Don't get frustrated, but continue to work with these in, at, on, and think about, okay, is this a general thing I'm talking about? Is it specific? Is it very specific? Which one should I use? So let's practice, okay? Let's do some practice here. So this first sentence. She has several new flowers, blank, the garden. What preposition of place would we want to use here? In, at, or on? In, at, or on. So we want to look at it in relation to where it's at. The garden. The garden. And this is a enclosed space. We can think of a garden as an enclosed space because we have a garden. It's this plot of land that we're going to have something there. We're going to have flowers, or we're going to have food, right? So it's going to be in. Very good. She has several new flowers in the garden. In the garden. Very good. We're going to be in the garden. Good job, right? It's an enclosed space. Very, very good. Good job. All right. Be careful with the, right? Using the does not make something in, at, or on. Okay? Because you can have something that's on the table, but that wouldn't make it, it doesn't make it in. That's a tough rule because it's not specific, right? There's not specifically a rule for the or not. So it might be tempting to see that, but I would be careful with that. All right, the next one. The party is going to be blank the new burger joint. All right? The new burger joint, right? Or we could say it's like a restaurant, right? This is like a restaurant. The party is going to be blank the new restaurant. Where is the party going to be? Well, is this general? It's not general because we know specifically which place it's going to be. So, and it's not on, right? It's not on. We're not going to be on the burger joint because we'd be on top of it. Very good. I'm seeing a lot of the right answer. At. It's going to be at. Very good. It's at. That's great job. Okay, so the party is going to be at the new burger joint because this is a known place, right? Specifically a known place, and we can think of it as a restaurant, right? Our known places, we're home, work, restaurant, school, we're using at. Very good. All right, let's try another one. You guys are doing very well. Everyone's doing a great job with these. These are very, very hard concepts. So let's keep going. We're doing great. All right. I don't know where he is, but I know he is blank the building. I know he is blank the building. So I don't know where he is. So we know that this is not going to be specific, right? We don't know where he is, but we know he is good. In the building. We know he is in the building, right? Very good. In the building. It's an enclosed space. enclosed space. He is in the building. Very good. Good job. Everyone got that one. That was great. Very good. All right. So, the runner is almost blank the finish line. The runner is almost blank the finish line. Let's see. Well, on isn't going to work, right? They're not on the finish line because that would be physically on, right? And this isn't an enclosed space. It's too specific, right? It's specific. We know where this finish line is. So we know they are at the finish line. Very good. We know they are at the finish line. Great job. Very good job, everyone. That's a hard one. Good job. It's very specific. It's at the finish line. Good job. All right. Let's try a few more. So this one, right? I am sitting blank the bus. I am sitting, where are we sitting? Well, the bus, right? The bus, it is a public transport, right? The public transport. So it is on. Very good. Everyone got that one right away. Great job. I am sitting on the bus, right? I'm sitting on the bus. I'm sitting on the bus. Good job. I'm riding on the bus. Good job. All right. Let's try this one. I am feeling sick, so I am blank home. I'm sitting blank home. Where are we? Well, we know that it is an enclosed space, but we know it's a specific known place. So it's at home. Good. I am at home. Good. I am feeling sick, so I am at home. Very good. And I wanted to address a quick question that was in the chat, talking about a bus and it being an enclosed space. So I am in the bus. That is true. It is enclosed. However, all public transport we use on. And that's one of the hard things about these prepositions of place, because they would seem that you can use each one for the other. But that's why we have these little rules to talk about why all public transport, bus, ship, train, we're going to use on. Even though it would make sense to use in, we still don't. We still use on in English. So that's one of those confusing rules that you just kind of have to get used to and practice with. It's a good question. It's a good question because it does seem like it's an enclosed space. But with these enclosed spaces, we want to think of bigger enclosed spaces, right? I am in the building. In the building, okay? I am in the country, right? I am in the United States. I am in England. Good, good. Okay. So last one. For vacation, Mark will be blank France. Where is Mark going to be? Well, we know France, right, is a country. So that's our biggest one, right? Our biggest area is in France. Very good. Mark is going to be in France. Great job. Great job, everybody. That's hard. These are all very hard prepositions of place. But it's easier if you think of these as bigger medium, smaller, right? Very specific. Less specific, general. Very important to think of it that way and use some of these rules, okay? These prepositions of place are very difficult, but you're doing a great job. And these are prepositions of place, right? They are also used, the in, on, at is used for prepositions of time as well, but we will get into that in a different lesson. We'll get into that in a different lesson. So good job. All right, so remember, our common prepositions of place are going to give us the relationship of two objects together. Our in, at, and on, right? They will give us our relationship between a person and where they are specifically, okay? Great job with all this today. I hope this was a helpful lesson. This is a difficult concept, but you did a wonderful job today. If you missed any of this lesson or you'd like to go back and re-watch it, you can watch it on our Cambly YouTube channel, and along with hundreds of other videos done by tutors just like me, and some that I have done as well. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are new to Cambly and you would like to have your own tutor and talk with a one-on-one session or a group session, then you can use the code GOLIVE for 36% off your year-long subscriptions. So even if you're just starting your English journey or you have been studying English for years and years and just want to continue practicing, Cambly is an excellent location for that because this website allows you to talk to thousands of tutors any time of the day, whether it's morning for you right now or evening or afternoon or the middle of the night. People are on and ready to talk, and you can talk with native speakers. So thank you so much for joining me today. I had a wonderful time learning with you all. I hope you learned something today, and I hope you take care. I will see you later. Bye-bye.